What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing another Wajan Iverson VOD review because I've been VOD reviewing him because his Project PBA rank was a little bit low, but we all know Wajan has the potential, right? He's the absolute GOAT. But now, he's been on an absolute tear in Project PBE, 734 Beta LP, rank 17, and that was just going into this game. He's even higher after this one. So, this is an interesting game to watch, a fun one. Playing around this 4-cost line. This is like more of like a fast 8 style game from Wajan Iverson. Don't want to spoil the comp too much because I know some people don't like when I spoil it. But this is a game that it's a comp that I've played a lot on PBE, but found like mixed success on. Usually like end up kind of getting stuck on like third-ish, second-ish with it and never really winning out. So I want to see how Wajan Iverson plays it, how he caps out the board, and how he just gets a solid placement out of it. So start off here with a pretty great opener, a Kali 2, Ornn 2, and this Shen here, so we can play around this quite nicely. In spots like this, where we have a lot of upgraded units, how do you multiply the power of these upgraded units even further? Usually by taking items. So Living Forge, very, very tempting in a spot like this. This is also just a good augment in general. Just getting so many artifacts to play with. Curse Crown would be fun, but probably not. And so yeah, we are going to take the Living Forge here, and then we are going to, ooh, look at this. So first of all, a lot of interesting options here, and second of all, he has this charm that says if you win the next player combat, gain 2 gold. And so I would have been very tempted to just snap this off, but what he's going to do is he's going to crack artifact first here, see if he gets a good artifact for his board, and then use that to determine if he can win from this spot, which is very, very smart. A very good decision out of Wajan Iverson. I know Mana Zane is quite strong. This set should be bad onto a Kali, I would imagine. I don't love Hull Crusher that much. Infinity Force, I think, okay. The other thing to consider is that if we do make a Mana Zane, we don't have really another slam. It would have to be like Mana Zane Adaptive, which is like kind of weird. He is going to pick up the charm. He is going to level up here, and yeah, he's going to make Gargoyle. So we can't get like a double slam here on top of the Mana Zane unit, but still, I mean, the Gargoyle will tank for the Mana Zane. I just say this because it's really valuable to get 3 items onto a unit, right? If we could go Mana Zane plus some other item on Akali, we would love to do it because then this Akali would be just a monster. But still, this will work. She will do a lot of damage with the Mana Zane. Ooh, Yunara pair there is definitely something to think about. I imagine Mana Zane Yunara can't be bad. The only downside is getting into it, right? How are we actually getting our board to this Yunara onto it? We'd have to pick up a lot of the other Blossom stuff. So for now, I think we can just chill. Theoretically, if we win, we can just sell board or sell bench and make 50 here, which I imagine is what we're going to do in this spot. But we'll see. We'll see if Wajan wants to prioritize any of these pairs super highly. I don't think you should. And yeah, we will just sell and make 10 here. All right. Makes sense. And just off to a great start already with Wajan. We get this consumable. We could throw this onto the Akali if we want here. He's considering not slamming it because of this idea that this is going to turn her AD guaranteed. And so if we do really, really like the AP Akali better, then we wouldn't make it. I do know that they buffed and nerfed some of the Akalis to try to get that gap between AD and AP a lot closer, because I know there was some complaint before about Akali just not really being very balanced. You really want these adapter units from Riot's perspective to be balanced, right? You want them to be a situation where you can play them AD or AP and not feel really bad about it. And seems like, based on what Wajan goes for the slam here, that he thinks that they are relatively close to balance. So hey, pretty cool for the I mean, shout out Riot Games. Going into Carousel here, once again, would love to get something out of this tier here. I mean, we're only left with offensive components, which is quite interesting, and yeah, only left with rods at the end of the day. So we are going to pick up this rod here. Kind of hilarious because now, I mean, if you wanted to, we could make, I mean, the only thing you could make is Archangel, and Archangel Mana Zane is like pretty horrible synergy with the idea that like Mana Zane is a lot of upfront damage, Archangel is a lot of scaling damage, so probably not gonna do the slam. I'd be pretty surprised. It's also just kind of awkward because we gave the AD to her, and then the AD is not really gonna be doing anything if we turn her AP again. So hey, it's a lot of complex stuff here for Wajan to try to figure out. Upside is we do find this Master Yi, get it onto the board, get Adaptor on this board for some extra stats, and Yi just a good unit in the early game in general, and gives us a potential into this Blossom. We've talked a million times about it, but Blossom just, it feels real good. You usually feel very, very good about fitting Blossom onto your board because upgraded Wisps upgraded charms tend to be very, very nice. Rotate into, my god, what a board out of this guy here. Has the Rengar 2, has the Rek'Sai 3 from Build-A-Bud. Really unfortunate that we rotate into them. Also, somehow they lost to somebody else, which I'm not sure how that, I guess, yeah, he just hovered a Cursed Crown player, so it must have been the Cursed Crown player, because oh my god, that is crazy. But all right, we end up losing our streak here, which is really tragic for Wasian, but I mean, this is what happens in prismatic lobbies. Sometimes you rotate into some crazy, crazy boards. Do pick up the Karma here, so we do have access to 3 Blossom if we want it, but we are going to sell it off with the idea that it's a little expensive to hold on to it. We are going to pick up, wow, JG Void Staff. Yeah, this looks great here. Gets the only downside is like we talked about, is that now we've kind of wasted that little AD consumable on her, but the upside is we get some really, really good items. Very often your idea is that we're going to play Manamazane into some kind of AP comp here. Soraka does pretty well with it. I played it, if you can make it to 9 and put stuff like Kennen in on it or a Lunin on it, it's amazing. Ahri, pretty bad with Manazane because she takes a long time to get to her first cast, and she has this long cast animation, so try not to go for that on Ahri, but the other one's pretty good. I mean, yeah, Cognitive Taxers or Random Econ Augment looks solid to me here. Yeah, I think this is just the only option that makes any sense, and we will pick it up, and we will level up, and this is going to be our spot here. Feeling a little bit sad that we don't have that Blossom in that we had before. So now we're stuck kind of playing some random garbage, just 2 Ys onto the board right now. And you will see the first time this game where Wasian does team planner out the line that he's going to go, which is this idea, this core of units, really these 6 units, Zyra, Malphite, Soraka, Amumu, Azir, and Fiddlesticks, fit amazingly together because you get Blackthorn in here, you get Executioner in here, you get Summoner in here, you get 2 Flora Fatalis in here. It's just everything. And then, yeah, like the Amumu Shen linking up to this is going to obviously get Defender in here, get Infernal in. That's going to link up with Kennen down the line to get you Executioner on the board. It's just a really, really beautiful board. There's also some Elderwood variations, which we're holding on to the Ornn right now, so that's something we could play as well. You can fit Ornn plus it's Ornn plus LeBlanc, and then there's one more Elderwood that you end up playing on the board to kind of like complete the synergy web. Oh, it's Ezreal, obviously, for Executioner. So that's another thing that you can do. Get another good Executioner in, get 3 Elderwood in, get Spellweaver in, and Defender in for the Fiddlesticks. So a lot of cool versions of this comp that you can play, and it's a line that, once again, like as I said at the start, I played it a few times, and it's felt okay. The only thing that doesn't feel amazing to me about this line is just Soraka and Zyra as carries. Zyra especially feels like quite a mediocre carry right now to me on PvE, but you know, maybe Wasian's got some special sauce. Hey, maybe the Manamazane is the special sauce. Does make a lot of sense onto her. Get her casting a bunch of times, spawn all those plants, means that she gets that extra DR to your entire board, and you are just going to get a lot of value out of that Zyra. Also, she is one of these units where once you get all these plants stacking and autoing, they can do a lot of damage. So going into Carousel here, I mean, there is an Ezreal if we did want it for that version. It's not what Wasian team plannered out, so imagine we won't go for it. I do like the idea of taking tank item here because we are 3 damage items built and only 1 tank item, and so taking the belt here for a tank item looks good. Does, I guess, theoretically even leave heal cut open, but we probably are going to be playing Infernal on this board just because it's so easy to fit in. If you aren't playing that Elderwood version, then you can just play the Shen Kennen version that he has in there, get the Inferno in, and it's great. So, yep, I'm going to continue to chill here. The other thing that's pulling us towards this board is our item slam on the front line. We have Gargoyle. Gargoyle, a great item onto Malphite. It's interesting because Malphite has Gargoyle built in, so you'd almost think, like, does he need a kind of second Gargoyle in his build? And the answer is yes, because you're already going to be positioning for Gargoyle value, so you might as well, build more instances of this effect on him. You just need some HP onto him. Even AP as well can scale up his shield. So there's a lot of positive possibilities with this Malphite itemization with the Gargoyle. Whoa, I'm actually surprised he cracks this Anvil here, because it runs the risk of getting a gold artifact, but I think his thought process was, I actually really want to win this fight, so he cracks it and slams it there. He was trying to greet it, because if you wait until 4-1, then when you crack the Anvil, you cannot see a gold gen artifact. But he throws caution to the wind and says, I would rather just open this here. Maybe I have a gold gen artifact in one of my slots, and He doesn't actually get it in any of those, so all good. But he really wanted the slam to try to win that fight. Sadly, we lose it anyway. But we get Static Shift. I mean, a pretty good artifact in general for any kind of AP board. Probably not going to have any kind of like cool like AP attack speed shift setup. It's just going to be like a decent enough AP item, which is fine. Wade's in kind of a funny spot here because of his augment, where it's actually not, because you get that plus 3 XP, he would actually rather wait until 4-3 to send it, so he's on interval again, because you see next round he's going to be 11 out of 60, which is obviously not a, it's one off of being a multiple of 4. So I'm curious to see if he is going to wait. I think after winning this fight, I would 1,000,000% wait until 4-3 here to go. But we'll see if that's what Weijin wants to do in this spot here. Final augment, Money Monsoon, Nesting Anvils, and Band of Thieves. This is actually a comp where Band of Thieves shouldn't be too bad. Nesting Anvils, the only downside to things like Banding Thieves, Nesting Anvils is like we already have a lot of items this game. I would really ideally be looking for just some kind of combat augment here. The upside is though that we could look for a last Malphite item with one of these artifact ones. He's hovering Money Monsoon. I'm a little apprehensive about it. Ooh, Hold the Line sounds horrible. Jail's pretty bad as well. I think we might be forced to end up taking 1 buff, 2 buff, which you know, we don't really need the heal cut from it, but it's items to pair with these. And our other combat options were not very good. We don't need spell crit onto our Executioner board, and with a JG built already, so you can't take that and then hold the line. I mean, we have this gargoyle carry, so kind of forced to take this here. I don't think it's amazing, but it's his most acceptable option from what he's got, and it guarantees the heal cut for now if we don't high roll the cannon. So that's an upside, and yeah, he did end up waiting one more round, so we are going to level next round and then send it here for the board. Makes a lot of sense, and we're holding on to a lot of good stuff on bench here. So going to roll down, gonna full sell the board to make the pivot. I love it. Gonna get the set in for now, but there is the Soraka. There's the Malphite. There's another Soraka. Zyra is gonna fit onto this board as well. Does hit Soraka 2, which is not bad. And wow, last second is going to dupe the Malphite. Beautiful roll down turn for Weijin Iverson, and going to get the Mana Zane, the JG, and the blue buff actually onto the Soraka. So she's just giga maned up, just getting all of these casts off. Util going to go onto the Zyra. She's a very, very good holder of it, just because all of these plants are oftentimes hitting, you know, different frontliner units depending on where she puts them down, so you can get good value there. Not really sure why the Shiv is split over to there. Yeah, I think he just ran out of time, but certainly should move over to the Zyra. But hey, I mean, overall, a beautiful transition turn for Weijin. What is he going to take here? Belt? Yeah, I mean, we need to just finish off Malphite item, so I guess it's going to be double Warmonks. Wow, I mean, it's can't be the worst. I'm going to pick up the Amumu here so we get Inferno in, even though we don't really need it that badly, but it's something to fit onto this board, even as the Yorick connection in here for both Summoner and then Juggernaut onto this board, which is pretty funny. So yeah, this is going to be the setup for now. Looking pretty solid here, especially with the Living Forge and the fact that we hit the entire board. So we should be quite strong right now for the end of this stage. And yeah, the Soraka with the Mana Zane doing a lot of work, the Zyra doing a lot of work as well. I mean, both of them doing over 9,000 damage. I mean, I'm becoming a bit of a believer watching this game, I will say. Watching Weijin Iverson. I mean, that wasn't a bad board that he just fought there, and with all these upgrades, we're kind of chilling. You also notice that he is sacking the Shen too. Oftentimes in this comp, you're going to want to sack the highest cost tank that you have, because Malphite is everything. Malphite is your entire frontline here, and so the more stats you can get onto this Malphite, the better. Even though you're sacking, you know, Shen 2, which is a much better unit than some other, you know, you have like the Fiddlesticks one or something like that. You get so much more frontline by sacking this and transferring those stats over to the Malphite, who is already very, very tanky, that this makes perfect sense. And I would not be shocked at all if we find like Fiddlesticks 2 for him to put the Fiddlesticks on top of the Hex. I wonder if he found a Mumu 2. He probably wouldn't sack the Mumu 2, but I wouldn't even be completely shocked if he did. So we will see. At this point, the game plan has to be to push levels. Is he going to sell at Ezreal for extra gold here? Going to make Trojan Death Cap. Not even look at his Anvil here, just because he's very, very happy with getting the Death Cap onto the Soraka here. I imagine the JG, I imagine the JG should go on her. It's weird to put blue buff on her just because it's already so much mana gen. And yeah, this is gonna be the idea. And then the rest can just go double mana onto a 0, which is a tad bit awkward, but this is a beautiful Soraka build. I mean, obviously the JG, she doesn't need the spell crit because she's an Executioner, but the AP is very nice. The crit is really, really nice. And the AP from Death Cap is really, really crucial onto the Soraka unit. He is going to move some items over, move the JG off of her. Okay, move these items there, and then going to end up finding blue buffing her. Okay, I mean, it's still, the blue buff does magnify the AP from the Death Cap, which is the upside for it. It's a lot of mana gen, but wanted to get all the attack speed items onto Azir, the JG onto Zyra. I mean, this is a really nice distribution of items as well, because the JG ends up on the unit that actually needs the spell crit, the only non-executioner onto our board, and Azir likes the attack speed a lot, so this makes a lot of sense. Zyra is not able to close out the fight, but wow, I just looked over to the right for the first time this game in a few rounds, and Wei Jin is top 250 HP, and the whole lobby is dying. This is such a low HP lobby, just because the first place player, Chunji, and Wei Jin are just kind of destroying everybody else. I mean, single digit HP for the rest of the lobby is nuts. But okay, we'll see what this board can do in the next few fights. Malphite coming under some pressure here from this giant Kale. Wow, this Kale board is destroying. I'm kind of shocked that the Kale board is that strong. Let's go back and look at this Kale setup real quick here. So they had an extra couple of dummies here. It's Pris Ticket, so it's actually an Econ Prismatic, but they called the Chaos into... What did they even... They're level 7 with this Call to Chaos. What did they call the Chaos into? I didn't even see it. Maybe just some items? He's got a temporary TG here, and these two... I don't even understand how this is possible. Temporary TG, and both of these are temporary as well here. In any case, the board clears. I mean, he could have hit Econ Call to Chaos, I guess, but I mean, that's a lot. Like, I don't think his board should be that strong with Econ Call to Chaos, is what I will say. But hey, maybe we'll fight them again and see. But it was also weird that temporary TG and 2 temporary dummies looked very, very odd as well. I don't really understand how that's possible. Executioner Spat on Carousel would be a big win here. Just buff up all of our Executioner units. We sadly do not get it here, so we're going to be forced to... Oh, no, we did get it. Oh, I thought he... No. Okay, that was really weird. It showed the other player on Carousel first, but we did not get it, sadly. Going to get our last artifact this game. Eternal Pact looks very juicy in spots like this, and we're just going to move this down to the Zyra and then the Void Staff over here. I love this. The tank potion is just going to go into a Mumu here. Not my favorite charm in this spot, but hey, the mana gen potion, if we can get a Mumu casting, is not the worst for our board. Yeah, that was a pretty bad Wisp, but we do manage to win the fight because we're just that much stronger than Philip. The other player goes down. Wow, so it's just us and Chunji here, so we're not going to get to see another fight from that kill board. But still, amazing spot here. Treetop Archers I do like a lot, but I think he was not willing to take this charm because he knew he wanted to roll for something. Ends up, wow, okay. This is, I mean, this is what happens this late in the game, though, is he's like, well, the QSS isn't doing anything for me here. It'll do something if we find Kennen, but that's so far, so I'm just going to reforge. Finds the Stair Axe, actually says I'll reforge that, and actually ends up finding Spirit Visage, which is a pretty good tank item. We are charmless in Seattle here, so hopefully we end up getting, a fight win here. Surprised he didn't roll, just because there are a lot of decent 0 gold ones, just one that gives your board 100 HP, not the worst, but probably wouldn't swing this fight. Wow, speaking of Executioner boards, by the way, we're fighting against another one here. Is this going to be a 1-2 from Executioner boards? And it might be a 2 from Wei Jin Iverson, because that fight looked pretty bad. If we can find a Kennen, that would be really, really juicy on this board, but we will see. We will roll down here. I'm surprised he takes that one. I feel like that charm is not that great, the one that stuns the killers. But okay, I guess we'll see. We do have a random Maokai 2 out of nowhere here with 3 tank items, so the board's looking a lot better. Yeah, I want to peek at this. Oh my god, this was the Cursed Crown player into bronze for life. I don't know how many traits. I mean, we're seeing 7 showing right here, but there's probably some more hiding under here as well, which is really, really fun. So they're playing a similar board to us, but fitting this Ari Blossom idea with Set connected into here. Alistar being the way to play into Elderwood here, using that Ornn that we talked about that links up with Fiddle, but instead of the LeBlanc, he's playing Alistar to get Brawler in here, and then the Azir connecting it all. What a cool board from this player, but we'll see if it's enough to win out the lobby. I suspect it might be. I mean, I'm pretty sure Cursed Crown Bronze for Life is a disgusting combo, because not only can you get more traits in, but then the units that you're getting in from Cursed Crown are going to get even stronger. So will just be a 2nd place for Wei Jin Iverson. Still a really, really fun game. I mean, and I don't think you can feel too bad about losing this board. So Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Helps the channel out a ton. Check out my Twitch and my Metafy in the comments down below for all your streaming and coaching needs, and I will see you guys in the next one.